Maxx Crosby, he's going to come in at the end, punch it out.
Mahomes is sacked by Crosby, his second of the game.
Welcome back to our huddle. This is The Rush with Maxx Crosby. I'm your co-host, Brogan Roback. We got our boys in the house, DT Creel. We love them with our whole entire heart. So as you already know, a little bit of a different week for the Raiders, bye week, but it still was and still remains. Week 13 in the NFL. I believe the Chiefs and the Packers are getting it down in a snowstorm right now. So nonetheless, we're here to bring you that shit. And before we get going, continue to like, subscribe, comment down below. We appreciate you guys. And if you have a question, you have something you want to just spit out to the Condor here, we'll receive them and we'll talk about them. So we appreciate you guys. Just continue with the journey like we always talk on. But without you guys, there is no journey. Max, my guy, this week, you got a bye week. What was the week like for you? A little rest on the body. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, bye week's been incredible. Obviously everyone knows about the whole knee incident, the last week. So yeah, I finally, got this bye week. It came at a perfect time and literally spent all my time in the building for the most part, just getting my body back together, working out, getting everything back in tune. And this weekend got to get off my feet a little bit. I got got the new sauna and cold plunge at the crib. So we've been fucking dialed in even at the house. So it's been work and a little bit more work and then taking care of this body. So it's been fucking incredible. Thursday, a little segue, but Thursday, Slime was in the house taking pictures. We had our foundation launch dinner, and the Super Bowl host committee was there as well, holding shit down. But it was incredible. We had the boy Mark Wahlberg in the house, holding it down. We had Mark Davis, so two great Marky Marks in the building. But it was for a great cause. Super excited about the foundation getting off its feet. So we're going to do a lot of great shit. But yeah, we had our big dinners at Piero's, Italian cuisine. It was a freaking A1 night. So the only thing, the food was incredible. It definitely, it was a little bit delayed. We're sitting there a little bit hungry because we had to, do some donations and things like that. But we, once we got the food, everything was smooth. So can't complain.
Hell yeah, man. How was Marky Mark? He just made an appearance on Peyton Manning and Eli's thing, their ESPN Monday night. He didn't look too thrilled, but might not be his world for that. But just curious, how was the night with Marky Mark? Was there anybody else in there? It was probably a star-studded night.
Yeah, Marky Mark is he's a legend. I got to meet him at a UFC fight in Vegas, one of the last ones before season started, and he sat right next to me. So it was my first time, getting to chop it up with him. He's a fucking A1 human being, and he was there with his son. But he's one of those people. He's similar to me when it comes to routine. The dude is dialed in, and he got out of there before the main event even got even rolling because he was like, I gotta get to bed. I gotta work out in the morning, and he was locked in. So getting to see that and it was super dope. But yeah, getting to see him again, coming to the foundation dinner and everything, and just chopping it up like he was one of the guys was crazy. Because obviously he's one of the most influential people damn near in the universe. So it was super dope. And yeah, there was a ton of great people there.
Doesn't he train like a legit athlete or something like that? What's the movie, Krill, that we watched in college that was him in The Rock? You remember?
Him in The Rock.
Him in The Rock. It's like a weightlifting movie or some shit like that.
Oh,
but
Get hard. The roids.
Get hard or some shit. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, he was in the other guys too. And those two were in it.
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
But bro, he's up at like 3 a.m. His workouts are like he has 2 workouts in before 7 a.m.
Yeah.
He works out twice, snaps and prays, and it's
he's on that Kobe grind.
He always finds time to golf though.
Salute, bro.
He's always hitting the links.
Yeah, he is.
Success is not it's not a coincidence. That dude does not play around.
Do you think successful people, Max, have to stay super hyper active? If that makes sense, do you think it's something, I don't know, in their brain where they're just I need to be doing shit? Yeah, or it's a schedule.
Yeah, I feel like, every single successful, at the highest level, successful people, I seen this quote, it was on Instagram, but this dude was talking about it and he said, there's not like some special thing that every, super successful person have. It's they're broken. Like they don't have an off switch. So and I can fully relate to that. Like for me, I know what got me here and what's given me the success is being fucking obsessed and dialed in on a daily basis and doing it nonstop. And so, if you take any step back, that success isn't going to be guaranteed. So a guy like Marky Mark, no matter what, he's still fucking doing what he does and still finding ways to get better because he's obsessed with being the best at what he does. And like, I can fully relate to that because I know how I used to be when I was younger. I didn't even think that way. And now, like, it's been over 3 years and every single detail is fucking dialed in from start to finish. My whole days are planned out. My routine is 100%. Like, I don't break those. Like, they're non-negotiable. So I see why he's that way. And there's a reason why he's that successful. So I feel like, everyone talks about like, what's his it factor? It's like, nah, like we're broken. Like people at the highest level, they don't have an off switch. So I could fully relate.
All right, y'all. So we're going to disclude the star of the show here, Maxx, really quick. So everyone say goodbye. We appreciate it. Thank you, brother.
Hey.
In the Rush family, do you think you know football? Then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into a payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite player. So, with more stats than other daily fantasy apps, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from the predicted stats, and you could win up to 100 times your money if your picks win. D, your picks?
All right, sleeper picks for this week. We got Monday Night Football. We got the Cincinnati Bengals playing Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, my 3 picks for the slip are Joe Mixon over 46.5 yards rushing, Jamar Chase under 60.5 yards receiving, and then we got Calvin Ridley to score a touchdown at any time. Now that is 7.4 multiplier, 10 to win 74. All right, use code THERUSH to get that bet match. That's all I got for my sleeper picks for this week.
I love that. D, great picks there. And use promo code THERUSH and you get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Let me say that again for you guys. Use promo code THERUSH and you get up to a $100 match based on your deposit. And terms and conditions apply. So see Sleeper's terms and their use for details down below. And that is the Sleeper Fantasy app. We appreciate you guys, and we'll be back to the show.
Oh, shit. JJ.
What up, Josh?
What's good with it?
Josh, good.
What's going on?
What's good?
Hey,
Yeah,
so
that's
going back to being under a great sphere of influence with Dana White, how has that translated into your sauna, into your cold plunge? Is that a product of Gary Brecka and the Superhuman program that he's on currently trying to relay that over to you and get you in the best shape possible, inside out, or what?
You're on that shit, aren't you, Max?
Honestly, see, I'm not on the full Gary Brecka plan, but
That
Gary's
shit's
a
blowing
good
up.
friend of mine. He's a good friend of mine, and we've linked up a few times. But yeah, like the red light therapy, the cold plunge, all that shit. Like when it comes to recovery, and Josh knows this shit too. But working with Alex Guerrero and all those guys, like you got to find that tiny percentage of separation from everybody else, because everybody's putting in work. Everyone's athletic. Everyone's talented. It's like,
For sure.
what are those little things you're gonna do when nobody's looking? That makes that difference. So yeah, I stay dialed in on the cold plunge. I do it every single day. I do the sauna. I do fucking full body work twice a day. So yeah, just find little ways to stay ahead of the curve.
Facts. No, facts. So, hey, yeah.
All right, y'all. So obviously this man needs no introduction. It's my brother, Josh Jacobs, the one of one. We came in together, you already know, 5 years ago. We've been doing big things. We've had the same vision since day one. We've been having these conversations about where we want the Raiders to be at. We could get a little bit more into that with the questions and everything like that. But like I said, this man needs no introduction. Josh, I appreciate you coming on, bro.
The GOAT right there.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
Yeah. Let's go.
Welcome.
You know, we had to bring the
What's up, Brogan?
100%. We had to bring one of one into the Rush, the new up and coming one of one podcast. So it only makes sense. But Josh, like I said, man, it was the bye weekend. Your boys took care of business against the Bulldogs, which you did the same of. I believe you were MVP in that game, right? Something slight. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm out here making it nostalgic for you. But more importantly, what are your thoughts on the college playoff selection? Your boys making it at the 4th spot. Just curious.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. So it's a lot of it's a lot of good teams this year. So I can see how it's kind of like be a hard choice. But I think that whenever you beat the number one team and you play at a high level, you play in a conference that plays a lot of guys, then you kind of got to take that into consideration. I know it's like 3 or 4 teams right now that's playing at a high level too that haven't lost. But I feel like once you beat the number one team, you kind of got to put that team in the conversation for sure.
I agree, bro. I 100% agree. I was hoping and thinking that Bama was going to flip over just because it makes shit so much better. It doesn't feel the same if Bama's not in it. I'm going to be honest when I say that. I know it's going to piss people off, but it's just the truth, right? So I got to ask you, though, why do you feel Bama deserves it over FSU? Because they were undefeated. I know everybody's all bitching and crying about it, but just curious why you think the boys should deserve it over FSU.
Man, I just think it's, strength of schedule, man. I feel like, Bama, man, that week in and week out, you see they play good teams, and they play them at points in, I feel like in the season where the teams are doing their best. And I mean, if you just look at how the season started for Bama, it kind of started off slow, but each week you could tell the improvement in the team as a whole. And I think they're playing really good football right now.
Facts. I couldn't disagree with you, bro. Krill, you got one for them?
Yeah, so then just speaking on the whole Bama aspect, you coming out of high school, why Bama?
Yeah, why not Oklahoma?
So
You're from there, right?
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. So me growing up, like I always wanted to go to Oklahoma.
Boomer
You know what I'm
Sooner.
saying? Like they used to come to like my little league games and stuff like that. Like I used to see like, you know what I'm saying? I used to see them sometimes and things like that. So for me, I didn't really have no college offers until like 3 weeks before, national signing day my senior year.
Damn.
So I was like, when I finally started getting the offers, like I got Bama and then I got Oklahoma. So once Bama came and then like a lot of the other schools just kind of like,
Fall
try
suit.
to sneak in the
Yeah.
offer at the last minute, it was just like at that point I felt disrespected. I'm like, man, I'm an hour and a half away from, the campus. Like TU, Tulsa University is literally 15 minutes away from where I grew up and didn't get offered for them.
Sheesh.
And like Oklahoma State is like 40 minutes. So like all of these schools that's like close to me, I'm like, man, y'all didn't even give me a chance and y'all are literally in my backyard.
Man.
So to me, really, man, the most important reason why I chose Bama was one, when I went on that visit, I remember I sat down with Saban and Saban looked me in my eyes. He was like, man, I can't promise you no playing time, or I can't promise you that, you gonna be this or that. He said, but what I can promise you is I will teach you how to be a man. I will teach you how to go navigate through life, and and I'll teach you how to have the right work ethic. And when I sat down and then I looked at him and I was like, I respected him because everywhere else I was going, people was lying to me, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Or they was telling me like they knew I was going to Bama and they was talking about Bama. He didn't talk down on no other program. He only talked about what he could do for for me, what they program could do for me. And then not only that, man, I feel like for me, like I had to prove to myself that I could play on the highest level, that I was as good as I felt like I was in my head. So I feel like where else could I do that besides, the number one football school in the nation. So that's kind of what helped my thought process.
That's crazy.
That's dope. And you don't
Both
expect
y'all.
that either. People, coming from Nick Saban and shit, you would think, from the outside perspective, people would be like, yeah, Nick Saban only cares about winning and, he doesn't care about the people aspect. But I think that's something that people don't really realize. There's a reason why everyone goes to Alabama, because they keep shit real and, take care of the man first.
I think with Saban, that the biggest thing that people got him like misconstrued about is they think that he's all about football. Like the dude has, you know what I'm saying?
The
Like
lake house. He's
he
on the
does
boat. He's
stuff
on
with
the
the
water.
rookies and the
I was just
bro,
gonna
he
say
does
that.
stuff with rookies and families, you know what I'm saying? Like just in the community, like it's the reason why he's so much respected. He gives so much of his time and gives so much back. Like I don't think that people understand like when you actually sit down and have a conversation with Saban, like at any point, I feel like when I was in college, that you just like it's just a different, he's just a genuine dude. And then like even in college, like he didn't really get on the players too crazy, like unless you just did something, totally, uncontrollable that he had to get onto you about. He really get on the coaches, so that's why the coaches be hot. The coaches
Oh,
be
that
hot with him,
shows.
but he make the coaches do their job. You know what I'm saying? But like he don't really like just get on the players too much. You know what I'm saying? He like to joke around and stuff a lot.
He holds motherfuckers accountable.
Yeah.
Do you think that motherfucker? No, I shouldn't say it that way. Do you think Nick Saban will be coaching until he's 100 years old because he's got the blueprint so dialed in? He spits out the greatest coaches. It seems like he gets on their ass, but it's like that extreme accountability, that extreme ownership that he holds them to. It's different, bro. It really is. I'm just curious. Do you think he can do it forever?
I mean, you see everybody's trying to take the formula.
Yeah.
All the coaches that leave, they all trying to
Georgia?
do the same
They
thing.
try.
But like everybody can't do it. Kirby is as close to it as I'm seeing right now.
Yep.
But I think, man, honestly, he's gonna play as long as Miss Terry let him play, coach. I mean, 'cause people don't understand. His wife run everything.
Yeah.
Like she run everything. Like if you get in trouble or something, he kind of hard on you. Like you go to his wife. He'll come to the meeting and be like, and stop going to Miss Terry and telling on me.
It's so dead.
Yeah, like
You backdoor him.
yeah, she run everything.
Backdoor.
Always a strong woman behind it all, I guess, man. That's so funny. That shit is funny. Yeah.
Facts.
Max, go ahead. I think you're about to roll with this one.
Yeah, so stay on the Alabama, the Alabama question train. I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit, and there's gonna be I don't want any sugarcoat. I want Josh Jacobs. I already know what this comes with. But so top 5 Alabama running backs of all time. You can include yourself, which I definitely think you're top 5, but it's got to be a real order. There's no these are I want a real order.
Tie
These
for
are top
third.
5
Damn,
backs all
Ab, you
time.
talking about all time?
All time.
See, bro, that's what's so tough because we done had so many like
Ridiculous
But
amount.
if I was to go off of like what I just seen with my eyes,
Yeah.
I would say first all time I would say definitely Sean Alexander.
Okay.
Sean Alexander at 1.
Damn. Yeah.
I would say Derrick Henry at 2.
Okay.
I would say Mark Ingram at 3. See that fourth spot. That fourth spot is tough because you got probably Trent Richardson.
Yeah.
And then I would say just from the amount of numbers and stuff that he put up, I would say Damian Harris at 5.
Damn.
I wouldn't put myself in the top 5 at Bama because I didn't even play that much. You know what I'm saying? Like I just made the most out of my opportunities when I was on the field. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, like from the guys that I seen and like from the record books and like how the legacy that they hold at Bama, I would say those my top 5.
Yeah. See, they're running back you. Like there's not even an argument.
Bro,
about
what?
It. Y'all have too many guys. Like the fact that you didn't even play that much at Bama and you're one of the best backs in the league. Like that shit is bizarre, bro. I don't think people realize how crazy it is.
I tell people all the time, like me and my one of my best friends, he's actually out here right now. I was just talking to him yesterday, and I was like, man, I feel like the thing that made me stood out is I played special teams, I played whatever. Like I was trying to dominate wherever I was at. But not only that, like every practice we had, bro, we had scouts at every practice. So it was like even if you didn't play, like they knew who you were.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like so. That's just kind of how it was.
I was gonna say you were punt returning and shit and all that.
Yes, bro. When I was at the Ravens, there's dudes that were like second string at Bama that were literally there, and they're like, "Yeah, I mean, I didn't play much at Bama," and I'm like thinking in my head, like, "Bro, I had to break records and shit to get here. Like, you're out here, you know what I mean? Though, but it's different because the depth that y'all got is silly. Like, I remember the picture that went around of the running backs at one time. Y'all had like T.J. Yeldon, who else was in there? Kenyon Drake, my dog, Derrick Henry. Like, that is stupid. There's 5 running backs right there you can name. Alvin.
Yeah, like it was so many people there at one time, man. And that's the thing, bro. Like I tell people all the time. I said a lot of the backups sometimes be better than the starters. You just don't know about them yet. You know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta wait till they get their chance. Like for real. Like that's just kind of how it is at Bama. But see, that's the thing that I liked about Bama too. Like nothing was given. Like you could be the best number one athlete, whatever, coming out, number one ranking, whatever, and you're gonna have to earn your spot to play. And like that's the thing that I like the most.
Yeah, that's
Facts.
dope, bro.
NFL every
That's
day.
dope.
Bama would be the only school that I could call not bullshit for him not putting himself in the top 5. I mean, you're going through all
Yeah.
these things, and that's fucking ridiculous. That's
All
crazy.
Heisman winners, damn near, bro.
Swear to
It's
God.
Yeah.
crazy.
And you talked about the running back room. That picture of the receiver room's fucking the same exact thing.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Do you think? I was just going to ask you real quick with the running backs, all the guys at Bama that have racked up the Heisman Award. It seems like it literally only goes to quarterbacks, which I'm not necessarily mad about. That's my favorite position. But for running backs, do you think it's kind of annoying with the Heisman? Do you think they need to start accounting like the best player? Just your thoughts on the Heisman, the way it goes. It seems to be a quarterback award.
I feel like they should just start counting the best player in general, not even just running backs though. Like even defensive guys, man.
Yeah.
You see so many guys like make so much of an impact on a team, and they kind of like downplay the impact that they make. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes a good running game make it a lot easier for the quarterback. Like especially if it's not a quarterback that you feel like just can go back, drop back, and throw the ball 30 times a game.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So like for me, it just depends on the situation. I feel like obviously the quarterback is the most important position in football. But having the right pieces around him do make things a lot easier
Facts.
for sure.
100%.
And especially at Bama, Bama's a little different. No, I was just gonna say, you think about Bama when it comes to quarterbacks, like that's not the mainstay. Like y'all's build like as a team is like the 49ers type of way. Like get a young quarterback, like somebody who can manage the game, and then just stack the rest of the roster and run the ball and dominate up front, and you can still win that way. You don't need a fucking Heisman quarterback either. So it's
Yeah, man. Coming into Bama, the thing that I noticed the most, especially my freshman year, was the defense was always elite.
Yeah.
Every year that you see like Bama win, it's because of the defense is elite. Like I think that year, my freshman year, everybody on that defense got drafted. Like literally
That's
everybody:
silly.
Marlon Humphrey, Minka, Deron Payne,
Minka,
like Jonathan Allen, like
Yeah.
everybody. Like I was just looking around like the room. Everybody's like either in the league or played at the league at some point.
Yeah.
It's a legit
They're not just
NFL
drafted,
team.
Like those are Pro Bowl players, bro. Like those are Pro
Yeah,
Bowlers.
they're
Like,
players.
Pro Bowlers, not just middle. Yeah, that's just different.
Legit
You
dog.
gotta be. Okay.
All right, yeah. Switching gears into the league. I know you and Max came in the same class. What's that been like? That journey from where you guys are now, both of you at the top of your profession, right? Two of the best players in the league, to where you guys came from first coming into the Raiders.
Yeah, man. For me, it was definitely weird coming into the NFL. Because I felt like, especially my rookie year, like it's not as close of a group as you would expect it to be. To be able to do everything that we do, and but then you also got to realize that a lot of these men are grown, they have families, they got other stuff that they got to take care of. Whether in college you kind of like all with each other all the time, so that was the thing that was kind of different. For me, like not only that, like managing your time, like studying the playbook, but also like trying to navigate just the new city you're in. In Oakland is definitely a different city.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for real. And then man, like I think that the thing that kind of shocked me the most was like I remember losing a game like my rookie year, and I was just like I was mad. I was just in the locker room like mad. Like I kind of like just don't talk to nobody when we lose. And a vet came up to me. I ain't gonna say his name, but he came up to me and was like, "Man, this is not college. Like you're gonna lose in the NFL." And like I was like, I remember thinking about like that like for the whole next like 2 months, and I'm like, these motherfuckers don't care if we lose or not. Like you feel me? Like this is the whole like I used to be like, bro, like what's going on? Like
I'm dead.
Turning your
like,
phone off, not talking to anybody.
Yeah.
bro, I'm like, bro, I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm like, man, look, don't even talk to me for a day or two. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Like, that's just kind of how I am. But yeah, it was definitely a culture shock for me too. Like, just to come in and see guys just like handle things differently. Like handle things as pros, but also like have the freedom to do whatever because you got a lot of money now too. So it was definitely a little different for me.
And I got money now.
Now, how was that transition? Since we just talked about the whole suite of players and depth that you had at Bama on the field, how was that transition? And talk about what it was like playing at Bama versus then coming to the league.
Yeah. So at Bama, I can honestly say at Bama, every practice was harder than any game I ever played in.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say that the whole time I was at Bama, I was like literally all the games felt easy. Like in the league,
It's crazy.
it's different because the ones don't really go against the ones like that. Like you might have 1 or 2 periods where you go against the ones for like 4 or 5 plays, and that's it. And you're going against the scout team guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not good on good every day. You know what I'm saying? So like coming into the league, I remember like just cooking people. I was like, this is the league. Like this gonna be easy.
Y'all better
Like,
lace
I'm
them
like,
up.
This is what we working with. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so I kind of was like, man, it ain't no way. And then we got to playing good teams with good defense. So I'm like, okay, now I understand.
Yeah, then
Now
you got
I
humble
understand
quick.
like what it is. But yeah.
I'm dead.
For sure. All right. Last question that I got for you. So I talked about you and Maxx came in together. Maxx is not who he was when he first got drafted. And
Not at all.
appearance, size, all of it, right?
Not
Give me
at all.
your raw, uncut. What was your first impression of Maxx?
My first impression. So me and Maxx, when we first came in, Maxx has always been the same. But one thing I'll say about Maxx, man, he's been the same dude though since I met him. Like I feel like I've always had that bond with him. You know, his brother and his mom. Like we didn't spend times in hotel rooms freestyling at like 2 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like when we first came in our rookie year, man. But like I would say that the thing that I tell people that really makes me respect Maxx so much, man, is because I seen the way he came in. And if you looked at him, you was like, man, there's no way that this dude plays football at an elite level. You just look at his body and stuff, you're like, man, this dude, like he look like he's straight a baseball coach or something.
Yeah.
So then and then like no, then literally like I remember after that rookie season, I remember he broke his hand. And after he broke his hand, I remember seeing like a light bulb, like a switch in him, like his whole demeanor and everything, like just the way he went about his business from, coming in early and, working harder than everybody in the building, like being the first one in there, like, and all of that, like, and then just, starting to being able to play good and play with that swag that everybody know that he has. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like Maxx, if you would have knew Maxx, if you would have never seen what he looked like and you just heard him talking,
What he
just
looked
like
like.
you would think he was black.
Yeah,
To be honest.
yeah.
And that's what everybody said. Everybody like, man, I'm like, man, look, he is. That's him. I'm like, he's not acting. I'm like, he's not acting. That's him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for real. But that's the thing that I like that made me for real like respect and like he got my utmost respect, man. Like I've never seen a guy practice harder or train harder, like mentally and everything, to lock into the game as hard as he has. And that's the biggest thing that I noticed from year 1 to year 2 to year 5, man. Like just him being consistent in what he feel like he wants and who he feel like he want to be. And I tell him all the time, I'll be like, man, you the GOAT, man. So you my GOAT for sure.
Hey.
For
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Yeah, both y'all are
Appreciate you, bro.
goats.
Appreciate you, bro.
Maxx, I gotta know, bro. What is the switch like Josh hit on? I remember you busted your hand up. You even you even had surgery on your shoulder that same year, right? So I think at one point you're fucked up. So what was that switch though to you, Maxx? I know it's your sobriety, all that shit has something to do with it, but what flipped? They were like, all right, I'm really trying to not just take part. I'm really trying to take over on some Conor McGregor shit.
Yeah, facts. No, honestly, the biggest thing, Josh kind of hit on it. But yeah, it was after that COVID year. Like my second year, I was battling injuries. My shoulder, my labrum was damn near falling off the fucking bone. Like I was all banged up, and I knew going into that year, like I legitimately, like Josh, I was talking to Josh at the time, but like I was in rehab and in a fucking sober living and shit like that, and going straight into training camp. So like I was overweight. I was just trying to get by, like just trying to survive and stay sober. So like after that season, I felt like I took a step back in my second year, and like going into that off season after I had the surgeries, I was like, I don't want to just be like a normal, like a good story. Like, all right, there's a guy from Eastern Michigan, he plays hard, but like, I was like, fuck this. Like, why not me? Like, I'm sick of seeing the guys like for me at that time, I was like, I'm sick of seeing all these top guys, like, the TJs and the Myles Garretts and all these guys, like they're at the highest level. And I'm like, why the fuck can't I do that? Like I'm in the NFL, you know what I mean? I made it this far. Like, why the fuck can't I take it to that next level? And so for me, like I got those surgeries And I just told Rachel and I told everybody around me, I'm like, I'm switching everything. Like I went to the strength staff, went to the nutritionist, went to everybody. I'm like, I'm going to do everything right. I'm going to listen to everything y'all say and let's see what happens. And for me, like, I haven't looked back, and it's been over 3 years now. And I've just seen like my game and my game and my off the field, like just as a human being, like I've gone to a different level and just continuously looking for that little 1% to improve on. And, you know, it's been a blessing, bro. It's crazy. But, you know, people talk about like, you can't change. Like everybody always says, like the cliche is like, people are always the same. They're never going to change and shit like that. And like, I think it's the biggest lie, bro. So for me, everything I do every single day, I try to just fucking be a good person, treat people right, and just fucking outwork everybody around me. And then, you know, let the results, you know, just be what it is. So that's kind of what happened.
Facts. Talk your shit, bro. It's just what it is. So, hey, I know
that's definitely what happened.
Yeah, 100%. That boy went into the phone booth and came out a different man, like Superman.
No,
For real.
Man, that boy went into the chamber,
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out
yeah,
crazy.
right.
Yeah.
The ice chamber. Yeah, right. New man.
He said,
Hey,
"Throw
I
me in the
got,
jungle."
Throw me in the jungle. So to switch it up, so I got 2 questions for you, Josh.
Yep.
So we were talking about this. You know, we talked about it earlier in the year, but I've been asked a bunch of times, like, what do you think's your best game, you know, in your career? And it took me a while to really think about it. So I got to ask you this: what do you think's your best NFL game you've had so far in your career, and why?
Yeah, good question.
It definitely got to be Seattle. It got to be Seattle, just because of the numbers. Just because of the numbers was crazy, you know. Like, and it was weird. It's weird because don't nobody really know what happened. I wasn't even supposed to play that game. Like people don't even know that.
Yeah.
Like I tore my calf. I had partially tore my calf the Friday practice going into Sunday's game. I literally was like, woke up that day and they was like, they wasn't even gonna fly me with the team at first. And I'm like, man, let me see. Like, let me just see what it feel like. We'll make a game time decision. I got on the field and I remember I was like looking around. First off, the stadium is crazy. If you ever been to Seattle Stadium, the stadium is crazy. But I remember being on the field and I'm just like, I remember calling my dad. You know, we prayed on the field, and I was just like, man, I think I'm gonna do it. It's something different in the air. I feel like, like I just feel like I'm gonna do it. And then I went out and like had a crazy game, and it was a game that I didn't know that I had as good of a game as I did until I got into the locker room, and everybody was like, "You had 300 some yards."
303.
What? Like I'm looking around, like what? Like they was like, "Man, you just broke you broke a record," and I'm like, "What?" I didn't know nothing about it. It was just one of them games, and then really too. It was a fan. We coming out to the lock. We was coming out.
Yes.
So in pregame and
Yo,
everything,
I
he was
already know
talking
what you're
shit.
about to say.
He was talking shit, so much shit. I was looking at the dude. I said, man, you know what? Thank you. I needed that today because now I'm about to fuck y'all up.
Facts,
Like
dude.
I really wasn't even on that. Like mentally, I really wasn't on that. I said, but thank you because I needed that. So after we won, I ran right up to the dude. I was like, yeah.
Dummy!
I told y'all.
Dummy!
Like, yeah.
Your boy Dean Jameson dubs.
Yeah.
He said 229, 229 yards rushing, 33 attempts, 2 rushing touchdowns, 74 yards receiving off of 6 receptions, and
Mad
7
number.
targets.
And the fucking
Come on.
walk-off. And the walk-off.
on.
Bro, that shit was
He said I wasn't really even on that this game. And then he busts out 300 yards.
No, that shit was wild, bro. I'll never forget that shit. But I agree. That Seattle might have the dopest, whole, I don't even know, from even the drive-in, bro. Like, you see the trees and the water and everything. I'm like,
but the mountain and
bro,
stuff,
different.
Bro, it's beautiful.
No, it's
the
different.
air feel different out there. Everything.
Was it raining?
Games.
No,
I was like, yeah.
Nah, it was perfect, bro. It was
perfect.
a dope ass game. But yeah, no, that game I'll never forget it, bro. I'm glad you said Seattle because that was the first one. I'm like, he's got to say Seattle because that game was ridiculous. But I got one more question for you. So, obviously a lot of people talked about it in the offseason, but you rocked 28 for the first 4 years of your career. You made you made that your number. So what kind of went into the switch of your number going to number 8 back to your Alabama roots, and do you have any regrets about it, or what is the story behind the whole thing?
Nah, man. So I've wore a number 8 all my life.
Okay.
Like all my life. Like that was always my number, like forever. Like it's tatted on me and everything. Like even when I had the 28, I still had the 8 tatted on my arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, like it just represented like, a different mentality, a different, a different me, a different everything for real. I just feel more comfortable, like more like, swaggy, everything, like just in myself, you know what I'm saying? But really, bro, I was trying to change the first year. The first year that they had the jersey switch, like I wanted to change it last year because that was the first year. And they had told me like it was gonna charge, it was gonna cost me like
Yeah.
3.5 million or
Bro,
You
something.
I
posted
seen
about
that.
that. Didn't you
I
post about that
seen
last
that.
year?
Bro, I gave them a year when they told us about the change. I said, okay, I'm changing my number next year. They were supposed to stop making my jerseys in 28 right then,
Yeah.
and then so they kept making them, and they was like, well, like you top 10 in jersey sales, so we gonna keep making your jerseys. Like they like we're not about to like miss out on that money. So when it came time for me to change, I couldn't change, so I had to wait a whole another year for them to finally stop making the jerseys to be able to switch. But I mean, for me, like I said, man, that age it's just different. It ain't got nothing to do with Kobe or nothing like that. Rest in peace. But for me, that's just always been my number.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, because I remember
Yeah.
you used to have that little 8 diamond chain
I
too.
used to rock the
I
8
was
chain
gonna,
underneath the 28 jersey all the
all the
time.
time. I was
Like I
gonna
used to
Back to
rock
your
it
say,
underneath
roots.
all the
yeah, I
time.
do
Yeah.
remember that. You still
That's
got that one,
hard.
right?
Yeah, I still got it. It's a put, but I ain't gonna lie. I got so much jewelry. You don't never see me wear jewelry no more.
Nice,
Like
nice.
never. It's
Do it
just
in the
like,
chamber. Do it in the chamber.
yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put on these fits and let these fits. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Do a little.
Let the
Let
fits
that girl
talk.
talk then.
Exactly.
For sure.
That's
Exactly.
For
funny.
sure.
Yeah, Max is trying to keep up
100%.
with the fits for the most part. But before we get to the dog of the day, bro, I gotta ask you the playoff hunt. You guys are sitting right in the middle of the hunt. What do y'all need to do, in your opinion, in the next 5 weeks to give yourself a chance? And what's your focus, Josh, going for the next 5 weeks?
Man, I would say as a team, we all got to just lock in and understand what we want, and have that hunger and have that mentality like that we won't be denied at any point, no matter who we playing, no matter who lined up next to me. Like me, like me, when I'm on the field, I always think of my game. I don't care what my stats had or nothing like that, like what I finished with. Like I always view myself like how I did, if I did good or bad by my one-on-one matchups. And I always be like, if I won, I always try to win more times than I lose. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, I feel like if everybody come out with that same attitude, like I don't care what your role is, but like you like I'm gonna win my one-on-one this day, and I don't care how many times I gotta, go against the next motherfucker. Like I'm gonna win this rep, win this game. Then I think we'll be all right. And I think we got enough guys right now with that same mentality, but we also got the guys that's like kind of teetering, like, they kind of, got to believe it to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we got to get them guys a little bit more on board. But I think that's the biggest thing. Not only that, I feel like the coaches got to put us in the best possible position to win, which I feel like they've been doing. But like just allow us to be who we are, like allow us to use our strengths to, our greatest advantage, and allow us to like, even our weaknesses, allow us to be in that situation just a little bit less than, than what the average is for real. And that's the thing that I feel like. But I feel like with AP, he got that mentality like I don't give a fuck who we playing. We don't
Facts.
even care about the names. Like whoever that number is, like we gonna fuck that motherfucker up.
Yes.
And that's just kind of how I feel like if everybody take that mentality, then we'll be all right. We'll be exactly where we need to be. Come January.
100%, bro. Eat or be eaten.
No, it's facts. But I think that's the thing that people don't realize. It's like if you really break it down, it sounds simple, but like what you said, Josh, like when you go into a game, if you're winning more, like when it comes down to your one-on-one matches, if you're winning more than you're fucking losing, and if everybody's got that mentality, you're gonna win football games.
You're
It
going to
literally comes down to one-on-one blocks, one-on-one receiver versus DB, linebacker versus running back. Like if you're winning more than you're losing as a team, and you got that mentality, bro, you're gonna win a lot of fucking football games. And if you break it down to that, bro, it's just everyone playing at the highest level, and that's how I feel like it doesn't. Like you said, AP, it doesn't matter who the fuck we play. If we're playing at our best, bro, we can beat anybody. I have no doubt in my mind.
Facts. As we all know, bro, it takes all 11. Everyone playing at the highest potential, highest ability. And I mean, I'm ready to see you guys, man. It's been dope seeing you guys all year. I know it's not the same, or not the results, I should say, that you guys want, but we know you guys are out there working. I mean, you're doing your thing, Josh. That stiffy last week was So tough with the burners. Yeah, no, and I mean that's every week, right? So we got 2 dogs on here, but we're gonna scoot and shoot and talk about another fucking dog of the day, which is not you two, and we just want your comment on it. So I'm gonna kick it over to you, Max, and roll the dog of the day. It's all right.
All right, y'all. So we got a fan favorite. You already know what it is. The fucking dog of the day. This is one of the greatest segments on the planet. We do it every single week. And this week, we have a running back in the room, our boy Josh Jacobs. In my opinion, the greatest in the league right now. But we're going to talk about a different running back. Arizona Cardinals, James Conner, our dog of the day this week. This dude goes back to Pittsburgh. You already know on his mind, he's like, all right, this is my former team. They let me go for basically nothing. He left on a vet minimum. And you see what he did today. 2 touchdowns, 105 rushing, got the dub in Pittsburgh. So that's our dog of the day. And got to give a major respect to James Conner. The dude has bounced back. Once he left Pittsburgh, he's been on a mission. He made the Pro Bowl last year. He's been getting better and better every single year. And he's just one of those guys. He's overcome a ton in his life. He battled cancer. He had injuries, and this dude always responds and always comes back better than he was before. So our dog of the day goes to James Conner.
Yeah.
Boom.
I said, any comments on that performance today, or anything that you know about James and his game that you observed from him?
Yeah, man. I think, from a running back standpoint, I'm not going to lie, like, me personally, like, just in the NFL, a lot of people don't get my stamp of, like, legit, like they legit, like they're a guy. But man, you see the way that he works all the time, and whether it's blocking, like his pass picking, like his pass pro is underrated. But not only that, like the moves that he makes in a short area is kind of crazy too. But he still has that like physical run style too. You know what I'm saying? So, man, for him, he's always been a guy, even since his Pittsburgh days, where I used to look at it and I'd be like, yeah, he nice. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to him, man. Hopefully, he keep doing what he's doing and keep improving.
Yeah, 100. That dude used to be a DN in college, so you could do it all. You know what I mean? So, nonetheless, Josh, we appreciate you, bro. You're goated, like we said, 101 a million times. But we thank you for coming on the Rush. Can't wait to see what you do. Hope you stay healthy. And continue to just murder the game like you continue to do. And you've already been a dog of the day, so we're gonna get you one of these, and we need you to rock it, all right, with some pride. Okay.
Oh yeah, I support.
All right.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Shit, whenever y'all want me to come on, man, let me know. It's good.
We appreciate. Hey, we might need you for the NCAA championship. If the boys can get there and get it done.
Nah, hey, look, if bet me in there, I'm gonna be talking a whole lot of shit.
We ready for
That's
it.
what we need. That's what we need on here.
100%,
bro.
bro.
Man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Take care.
Yep. Thanks, Josh.
Boom. That's the boy, JJ.
That's gonna go crazy. I feel like.
I mean, that's special.
That's special.
Fucking G.
DT, did the Condor Cartel drop a couple mail time? Blues Clues.
Mike. What do we got? Talk to us.
They made it easy for me. I didn't have to scroll a fucking ton to get through some shit. Number one question right here. Matt Christensen, 13. How have the changes to roughing the passer changed your game? And I want to know, how has it changed the game?
Great question. I fucking hate that role.
I know you do.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it
sucks,
unbelievable.
dude.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Honestly.
And can you get hurt trying to not hurt them?
No, I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's just there can't be a rule with gray area. You know what I mean? I feel 100%. Like if it's a rule, it's black and white. You either sack the quarterback or you don't. You can't sack the quarterback and say, oh, well, he landed on him too hard. You got a grown-ass man running full speed. I don't think – like you could sit in an office and watch the film and be like, oh, yeah, we got to get that out the game. They've never sacked the quarterback. So, yeah. I mean, it's hard. I'm not going to go too hard on it because I'm not trying to have him come after me. But, Roger, I mean, if it's egregious, like late as fuck and you're slamming a dude on his head, like, okay, I get it. But, like, when he's getting rid of the ball and you hit him, and you can't be calling that shit. But it's a crazy game. The game has changed, and the quarterbacks make the money.
Sure.
People tune in to see great quarterbacks, and they don't want them hurt. So I totally get it. So for me, it hasn't changed my game. It just makes me a little bit more aware when I'm taking them down. Because in college, I was literally trying to dismantle every quarterback and shatter their body. But like now, it's
Decapitate.
Like his ass on the ground, and I'm gonna take the ball or get him on the ground, and we'll figure it out from there.
The only thing that I would have on that same note is if y'all watched the Saints game and you see Derek Carr.
He tried to kill him, and he was a former teammate. Bruce
Pulling
Irvin was
trees
in
out.
Oakland with DC. So I don't know what DC. Yeah, I don't know what he did. Maybe back in the day they had some beef or something, but that shit looked very
That was
personal,
bad, bro.
and he tried to kill him. Yeah,
He
it
did.
was
Talk
crazy.
about doing it for a
you
long
can,
time.
you can,
And prayers to DC. Hopefully DC is all good. But
Man.
holy shit, he got lit
That was
up.
a
I mean,
lick.
shit like that, I totally understand the penalty.
100%.
Like, he tried to put him through the turf.
But like if you
Yeah.
just like push someone, it's so stupid. Like
Yeah, it was wild.
It is crazy.
D next.
D?
Touchy sub. Little touch.
All right.
Yeah.
What would Joey do? Asks us a question. What's your favorite Kobe moment, and why do you look up to him?
Ooh. I mean, there's a lot of them. Honestly, I think about Phoenix Suns when he hit the game winner.
Yeah. And he did the.
That's a childhood memory. And he went out and
Yeah.
he came out doing the Pullman, ripped his jersey. That was all time because for me, like at that time, I didn't grow up a Lakers fan or anything like that, and I didn't become a massive Kobe fan until later in my life as I become who I am. But at that time, Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire and those teams, like they were lighting the league up every single year. But when it came to the playoffs, Kobe would take them down every fucking year. It reminded me of how LeBron took down Toronto every time. Like he took down Steve Nash and them, and so in those moments, like the biggest moments, Kobe always shined, bro. And that moment was huge for me. But that's not the number one. The number one for me, I mean, you talk about the 81 points, that's fucking in history. But for me, the number one was his last game. I mean, the dude literally was old. He was on his last fucking legs, and he went out there and dropped a 60 ball on Utah and won in his last game and got fucking basically carried off the court. Like that was like the most all-time iconic Kobe moment. And like up to that point in his career, he's had so many. He won 5 titles. That moment to end your career like that, like as a player, I was like, this is how I want to fucking end my career. You know what I mean? Be fucking like just go out at my absolute best, and that's the last thing people remember of me. So yeah, that's got to be number one. Kobe dropping 60 in his last game for sure.
Yeah, that was dope. On
That
50
was
attempts,
legendary,
that
bro.
was
And I feel like
legendary.
everyone remembers where they were when they watched that game. Like everyone was dialed into Kobe that night. It was different, bro.
I was dialed in. I actually almost did cry. I swear to God. And I don't really cry like that. And I was almost crying. It was pretty sweet to see. Off 50 attempts, he scored 60 points. Legendary.
No,
Said, I don't really cry like that.
Yeah, no, legitimately, I had a single tear at least.
Seen it.
Yeah.
Right,
The
next
last question we got from Eric.G_. If you had to play in a decade of the Raiders football before the 2000s, what time are you choosing?
Oof. It would have to be the 80s.
Yeah.
It would have to be the
Why?
80s. I mean,
boy
those-
era.
Killers.
That's the only thing I have to say. From, I mean, Ted Hendricks, Howie, Lyle Alzado, George Atkinson, all those dudes were fucking different. And the way they played football was different. The Raiders were feared. You did not run crossing routes because you knew somebody was going to get murdered over the middle of the field. Like it was a different type of football. And those guys to this day, like I still talk to George Atkinson. He still comes to the facility. That's like an OG for me. Like I love that guy to death. The Howie Longs, the Ted Hendricks. Like I know them and their families. Like those dudes are the people I look up to. So yeah, another one, Greg Townsend. Those guys were like all time, and I feel like I don't know where I would play because obviously they had so many guys. Put me on one of the ends and let me get on that D line with Ted Hendricks and Howie Long and fucking Greg Townsend and Lyle Alzado. Like those, we would have been the greatest. They already were damn near the greatest front. Bless it. They already were the greatest front, but if I could have played on that front with them, like that would 100% be the team I played for.
People forget that the game wasn't not violent too long ago. Like 2010 Steelers, Ryan Clark, Pomalalu, they were murdering.
Like
Bernard Pollard and those dudes, the Ravens defenses, they were
Ring a bell?
murdering.
Fucking murder.
I think the 10 group literally changed the game
Yeah.
and how it was called. They were.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I think there was a half a dozen people got stretchered out.
Bro,
Yes,
Ryan
James
Clark
Harrison. It was
3 in
James
one
Harrison,
game.
bro. Yes.
I think
Really quick.
He switched he changed the whole NFL. After he hit the dude for the Browns and then he hit somebody
Yes.
else, it was like, okay, we can't he was killing people.
we
bro.
gotta pull the leash back.
Talk about Crosby.
like, they're like, this
Yeah.
can't be allowed. This can't be allowed. Dudes were
No.
like stiff on the field, bro.
it's like anytime,
Yeah.
Murderers.
dude. It's like anytime the Bengals and the Steelers play. I swear, people are getting absolutely like just smacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Montez perfect. He
was
let it
player-
drag out a little longer.
Yeah,
They took
that
him
was
out of the
player
NFL. I mean,
Yes.
Montez Perfect single-handedly ended his career just by ending other people's careers.
Yep.
And
And people forget Ryan Clark.
true.
People look at Ryan Clark now and they're probably like, "This dude used to smack dudes."
What?
Bro,
What?
Ryan
He can
Clark
say whatever
used
he
to
wants.
He is
eliminate people.
certified, checked. He like legit gets the check. Talk
He's
about
coming
defensive
down
players.
here
We
straight.
can talk about whoever.
No, facts. People talk
Yes.
like they don't understand. Ryan Clark was annihilating people.
Mm.
yes, bro.
Annihilating.
Different. So he can talk his shit all he wants.
Fuck
No,
yeah, he
serious.
can.
Everything's granted with him.
Yes.
Cool.
Was
so
that the
that's all
last
I got.
one, D?
Yeah, that's all we got. Appreciate the questions as always. We'll see him back here next week.
Condor Cartel, thank you.
Much
Love
love.
you guys. Much
Keep
appreciated.
keep continuing to comment down below. Send in your questions every single week. We'll get to them. Max is going to get to them. Like we said, as soon as we get to that 50, you already know what it is. Field passes, you and your loved one, great date night. You'll be like Drake out there just taking them to the stadium for a date. It'd be unbelievable for you guys. So continue to do what you do. We love it. We appreciate it. And Max, let's change directions here a little bit. Let's Euro really quick, please. And Vikings coming up, week 14, fresh off a long week. You know, good time for some rest. What is the thought process heading into the Vikings this week, that game? What do you guys need to do, and what do you expect?
Yeah, we have 5 games left, so it's literally do or die. You know what I mean? We basically have to win out. It's not guaranteed. It's possibility we get in, you know, if we go 4-1 these last 5, but for us, it's every single game is win or go home. So we're going against the Vikings, a team that, you know, obviously Kirk Cousins went down, unfortunately, but they have a ton of talent. Justin Jefferson coming back, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. They have a ton of talent on that offense. They got 2, you know, really solid tackles in Brian O'Neill, Christian Darrisaw. They got, Brian Flores running the defense now, and they're doing really well. So this is a legitimate team, and we're not taking them lightly at all. I know my mindset. I've already talked to y'all about it. Like, I'm planning on doing exactly what I've already, been talking about. This is the most important game, of my career coming up. Every single game coming out, this is, everything I work for is for now. And we're trying to make the playoffs, and it's simple as that. So for me, I'm ultra dialed in. I've been working, getting my body right. And I cannot wait to get back out on the field, get back in the building, get with the guys, and just go out and show everybody what Raider football is supposed to look like.
100%, bro. And I guess everyone's going to want to know, how are you feeling? How is your health? And more importantly, how's the knee? Just moving forward with all the rest you finally got.
Yeah, my knee's doing the best it's been. It's been, a battle. Like I said, this is not like something that was new. Obviously, it was at a different level with the infection and everything, but it's something I've been dealing with all season. So finally I got to take a lot of time to just take care of my body, get in the weight room, and take steps forward. So it's all about gaining ground, and that's exactly what I did all week. And I can't wait to get back in the building and get to work tomorrow.
Yeah, we're ready for it, man. It's football is just so much better with the Raiders in the playoff hunt. It just really is. It's nostalgic. It's snowing. We're thinking of John Gruden back in the day against the Bucks in the Super Bowl. I mean, we're all just thumping our desks. So we're ready for you guys to continue doing it, and we're pumped to see what you guys got. Do you like that one? Let's jump right into the best segment of the world, the Rushman. Your favorite segment, Max?
I'm right here with it.
Did he say he's thumping the desk or pumping the desk?
I think I said thumping.
He said thumping the desk.
Dude,
He said he just came off a nice long
Chiefs.
bye week.
Yeah.
Packers.
Yeah,
are
so-
thumping the Chiefs.
You already fucking know what time it is. Like Brogan said, this is my favorite segment of the week. Every single time, biased opinion, don't care what anyone has to say.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Rushman of the week. We got 3 guys this week. 2 of them have done it for a very long time at a high level. Another one, young bull coming on the scene, making big plays. So number 3, former Raider, former Buffalo. What are they? Bulls, Buffalo
Mhm.
Bulls. Sorry, Malcolm Kuntz, but yeah, Buffalo Bulls. We're going with the OG Khalil Mack.
Beast.
Obviously, there's a little awkward history between us and the Raiders and whatever, but I got to pay my respect. Khalil Mack has been doing it at a very high level for a very long time, and right now he's currently leading the league in sacks. Today he had 2 more sacks, 5 tackles, a forced fumble. Khalil Mack is honestly, he's incredible. What he's able to do on a weekly basis and doing it for 10 years now, it's incredible and something I aspire to be like. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year. He's done a lot of great things in this league. So major respect to Khalil Mack, balling out. He's got 15 sacks on the year, which is insane. And the guy just keeps getting better. And I got to give my ultimate respect for him. So Khalil Mack, you're our number 3 Rushman of the week. So big shout out to you, OG.
Good shit, Khalil.
Big shout out to Khalil.
It's huge.
Number two, I haven't talked about this guy in a while. He was, obviously Dustin Creel, Yinzer, big Pittsburgh guy, knows him very well. But this man is a beast. He's made a lot of money in the league. He's had a lot of success. He's had some injuries as well, so he's been battling that. But he's come back, and he's having a really underrated, slept-on year. But we're going with our guy, Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree, I've met him a few times. Met him in the airport this didn't meet him, but I ran into him in the airport this offseason with his girl. Great dude. Dude's an absolute G, and he just found ways his whole career to somehow get better and better, no matter what. He's been battling injuries, like I said. He's, was with TJ Watt, so he didn't get a lot, as much love at that time that, I felt like he deserved. But Bud Dupree, got to give my respect for him. So today, 7 tackles, 2 sacks, forced fumble. The dude is balling out. He's in Atlanta now. And, like I said, this dude is one of those underappreciated rushers, but he's done it at a high level for a very long time. So he's been in the league, killing it. And, got to give my big shout out to Bud Dupree. So major respect there. And then our number 1. I mean, we don't do this often. We usually, we stick to the vets, the OGs, the guys that are a little less, appreciated. But today we're going with a rookie. We got a young guy, Houston Texans, Will Anderson. 5 tackles, 2 sacks, a pass breakup. The dude was all over the field today. I was watching the game, obviously I was in my red zone. I was locked in, dialed in. But consistently the whole game versus Denver, Will Anderson was making plays. This year, I think he has 6 sacks now, but he's got a ton of pressures. He wins a lot of rushes. He's good in the run and pass, and you see his game continuously evolve on a weekly basis. So our number 1 Rushman of the week is Will Anderson. Big shout out to you, brother. Keep doing your thing. Keep your head on straight. Keep doing what you're doing. You're getting better every week, and you're going to be doing great things in this league for a long time. Just stay the course. We appreciate you, brother.
Good shit. Well, congrats, buddy. It's huge. Big achievement with the rush. Big achievement with the rush.
All right, y'all. Episode 10 of The Rush, bye-week edition. We had a special guest, Josh Jacobs, come in. We had a lot of great conversation, and we just want to say we appreciate you guys. Keep tuning in. Keep liking. Keep subscribing. Keep commenting. We're going to keep getting you guys dialed in. Like we said, most importantly, right now is that subscription, because we want to get you guys to the game. We want to take care of you. We want to get you on the field. We want to make things special. So we're going to do it for y'all, because the only reason why we're able to do this is because of you guys, the fans. So we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We're going to keep the content pumping out. We love you. And this is The Rush with my brothers, Brogan, DT, Dustin Creel in the building. Out.
Peace.
Peace.
Love you, boy.
Whoa, let's go, boy. Lock in. Let's go.
Love you, bro.
Don't be special, huh?
Love you, bro.
Don't be remembered.
Enjoy the show.
Love you guys. Let's go, boy. Let's go, man. Go, Doug!